All right, let me ask you this. Are you afraid of being alone, or are you alone because you're afraid? Neither one is a good place to be. And it all starts with you. It all starts with your fears, with the programming that you have in your mind, the way that you grew up, what you think is society's way of seeing you as successful in a relationship or not. And I'm going to be honest, men, we tend to be attracted to women that remind us of our mothers. Or if your mother was not around, whatever female was the biggest presence in your life, you may not even realize it, but you're attracted to that. Not that you are attracted to your mom. I'm talking about the traits that you grew up, that nurturing time, even if it wasn't nurturing, maybe your mom was mean or whatever, she wasn't the right mom, or she wasn't around, or someone else raised you, whatever, your grandma, those traits that are the first traits that you encounter from a woman usually end up being your guide. It tells you before you leave home, your mom and whoever is your guardian female, they are all you know. And that's your first impression of women. And then, you go into your extended family, and then eventually you go out into school, and then you meet teachers and you see all these dynamics. But really, the first intimate relationship with a woman is the relationship with your mother, that connection or lack thereof. So it's normal that as you become an adult, you start believing that a lot of the behaviors that your mother displayed are the right behaviors, even if they were wrong. That's where I want to get to. I want to get to none of our mothers are perfect, and we can love them or not love them. They're not perfect. So they most likely showed you some negative traits that you normalize as being just okay, that they're acceptable. And you need to come to terms that some of our mothers are toxic. Some of the females that we had in our lives that raised us, they're toxic. Some of them, or maybe not even fully, just maybe had toxic traits that now you believe they're completely normal. So if you grew up with a mother that would yell at you for no reason or constantly, and that was her way of showing you love, when you meet a woman that yells at you and just is just chaotic, and that you believe that's love. You believe, okay, and you're not really making that connection that no, it's not. But you don't know any better because you didn't grow up with that kind of love. Where if you grew up with a mother that was very loving and very protective and was there for you and supportive, then when you meet a woman that has those traits, that's normal to you. But someone that comes from a place of trauma, that might be not even something that they want or are attracted to. And that's the psychology of it, because a lot of times, even if you grow up with love, you may not find that same nurturing, even of a protective or supportive love in whoever you find in your life. So either way, you're going to end up being disappointed because that woman is not going to meet the standard that your subconscious mind believes is the right standard. So if you are either in a bad relationship or struggling through a relationship or not in a relationship and you want a relationship and you can't seem to get a relationship, whatever the problem may be, if you're not happy, look within you and look at your mother or that motherly figure that raised you. Look closely, and you're going to be amazed at how much of that it is that you're attracted to. So most of the women you're going to fall in love with are the women that make you feel what you felt when you grew up. That's not a good thing. I mean, it happens with women. They're reversed. Some women grew up with abusive fathers. And I don't think it's a secret that a lot of them end up in abusive relationships. Some of them, grew up with very loving homes. So their standard of love is very big. And you're never going to be able to fill the shoes of that father that showed her a kind of love that you're not going to be able to do. You're just a man. And her father probably just, that was his life. So he spoiled her to a point that if you're not giving her everything she wants, just like daddy used to, she's going to make a problem and she's going to be disappointed. And you're going to feel inadequate because you don't even know how much more can you do. Like you've done all you can as an adult. I put that out even for me, right? Because it took me, I'm still working through all of these and, analysis. You got to analyze yourself, right? Like you got to be like, my my mom, my grandma, the women in my life. For example, my grandmother, rest in peace. She was tough. She was tough. She was not someone that was very playful. However, she had those traits of being very tough. She wouldn't show you a lot of love, right? But when she did, it meant a lot. And when, for example, my grandmother, she would be very tough, always serious. Once in a while, she'll just say something so sarcastic and so out of character that it will be the most hilarious thing you've ever heard. And I can see myself attracted to women of that certain character where they're in a serious nature normally, but that they have a little hidden, sense of humor that's kind of dark and sarcastic within them. These are just heartbreak after heartbreak, having to go through a bunch of heartbreaks and disappointments of like, okay, it's not them. Obviously, they can't all be crazy. Relationship after relationship, it's like they can't all fail because I keep finding the crazy ones. It's really me, right? It's me having a certain standard of what I want in a woman and what I believe is normal that I was putting that weight in whoever I meet. Like if they didn't fit this criteria, they're definitely not it. That was subconscious, right? Now, as I work through it, because, I don't think you ever kind of get over it. I think there's always that trace of how you grew up you bring a piece of that into every relationship. But as you work through it consciously and not letting just my subconscious mind make all my decisions or handle my feelings, you work, then you start understanding women from a different perspective. Now, I'm not judging a woman based on how she fits into my childhood trauma. Now I'm judging her based on what she offers. And I'm judging her on her traumas, right? Because like I said, it's a two-way street. You meet a woman that she may have traumas from childhood, from her father, or she witnessed things that she should have never witnessed, or things happened to her that should have never happened. And those things, especially if they're related to the male figure, she's going to carry those over to her relationship as well. And when you got two people that come from that trauma and they actually fit because, but two traumatic people fit because you both are experiencing trauma. But what happens there is it's just chaos. It's chaos because neither one of you are healed. So both of you are just in constant conflict. And the problem is those are people that you're going to end up with if you come from a traumatic background because the healed women, they're not going to give you that space, right? The healed women they're going to read you 10 miles away. Like they already know that that's not a fit for them because they grew up in a different kind of environment. So that's why you see all these relationships that are just always struggling. And it's on both sides. She's not happy. He's not happy because they were never happy to begin with. And the thing is, it's not anybody's responsibility to make you happy. That's yours. So if you're out there looking for someone to make you happy, you already started in the wrong journey. Like if you're not happy by the time you find someone, you're not going to be happy. because now you have to give of yourself. You weren't happy to begin with. Your cup was half empty. Now you have to give someone else some of you that's not ready to be given, that's not even enough. Make yourself happy. And it's lonely and it hurts and it's painful and it will be worth it. It's a million times worth it because if you're not happy, no one is going to make you happy. You make yourself happy, then you can make other people happy. Same thing if you're in a relationship that they expect you to make them happy, as if you were born to make them happy and sacrifice your happiness in order to help them be happy. That's bad news. You should be happy, meet someone that's happy, and that's a great relationship. Unfortunately, we don't move that way. We move with biology and attraction and circumstance because if you're only meeting people that you work with or you go to school with, I mean, your pool of people that you're meeting is very, very slim, very limited. So most likely you're going to meet people that are on your same boat, right? Like if you go to a certain school, people that go to your school are probably your same background situation and according to geography. So you have to step out of that doing the same thing over and over, trying to wait for better results. Like it's not going to happen. You literally have to step out of your comfort zone and venture out. Especially if you come from a traumatic background, you have to venture out. Like you have to get out. And it's a big world out there. So don't get stuck thinking that the people that live around you are the world. Because when you start expanding yourself, you'll understand that, wow, that the people around you, you'll outgrow them so fast once you start venturing out and learning and meeting new people and new things. And you're gonna get to a good rhythm, but you got to be able to do that on your own. Don't expect someone to go on that journey with you and help you heal. Like you're not giving them anything. You're just expecting them to go on this healing journey. Like, and it's not gonna happen. So before you go there, heal yourself, make yourself happy. When you can laugh by yourself, when you can go to the movies by yourself, when you can go eat at a restaurant by yourself, when you can do things by yourself, when you can be by yourself for a week and not talk to anybody and be okay and actually good with that, then you're in the process of getting to a place that you can actually have something to offer someone. And I say that because a lot of us, man, live in that space of unresolved issues from childhood, for whatever. And we just try to hide that by, these relationships that take all of our time and our mental bandwidth. So we don't like to be by ourselves because then we start thinking and we start all these memories. Now we rather be in a relationship unhappy, arguing with someone than to be by ourselves, arguing with ourselves. But you got to look in the mirror and go, hey, who are you? And how can you become better? You have to do that. You have to face it, and it's not pretty, and it feels. If you're really doing it right, it's not going to be comfortable. And that's a good thing. So, if someone needs to hear this, please share it. I needed to hear this years ago, but hey, it's never too late. So, if you haven't done so, also subscribe. Next time, peace.